It's been an incredible 18 months. We've completed 6 acquisitions in 2020, expanded into Canada, and then just acquired Chi-X Asia Pacific on July 1st. So with all of that, we've celebrated bringing on our 1,000th associate earlier this year. So Cboe is in fact expanded globally, expanded by asset class, and certainly our team is much, much larger than it has been historically when we were running basically just options in Chicago. So with that, the opportunity for employment here in all our locations has increased. And with that, we've expanded our human resources recruitment team. We're using much more analytically driven human resource initiatives. We've aligned our corporate diversity and inclusion goals with my team's goals and my goals. We've established a diversity leadership council and a Cboe Women's Initiative. So everywhere we look, we're very mindful of our environment, the communities that we operate in, and with that, how we go about recruiting. An important part of that is our internship program, as it always has been. But it's larger this year. So our program this year has 43 summer interns learning the business, helping out our teams. And when I mean the business, John, it's more broad now. It's not just, as it was when I started, how do you enter the exchange space? From my perspective, it was as a trader. It was how do I interact on a trading floor back in the 80s? And how do you progress your career from the financial perspective? That's not the case now. All of our disciplines here, HR, risk, compliance, audit, things that we would not always have associated with being important in key roles in exchanges are even more so now as we look in different geographies. Of course, the financial background and having knowledge of trading in different asset classes and geographies is important, but the organization is truly a global one. And with that, it becomes much more opportunities to get people involved with Cboe globally. Much of the hiring has been part of M&A. So we have been very, very fortunate to be able to retain the talent in many of the deals that we've executed in 2020. So if you can imagine in different geographies, running exchanges, running support, Euro CCP running clearing, they're different disciplines than our traditional US space or European space is offered. So we are up and down the board as all of those functions that I named earlier, the control functions that make exchanges trusted platforms and environments, we're across the board. So I would say I wouldn't be able to pinpoint one area in particular that we're hiring. I would say it's across the board and across geography. The first move into our newest retail has really come in Delta One, or in our case, in the US, equities. And from there, we've always believed that these markets are for everyone. We just need to be more direct in how we attract Delta One traders or equity traders into derivatives, and being able to teach. John, always, as you know, with Cboe's long history of the Options Institute, been a leader in educating investors for 35 years. We've had to change that program that was primarily directed at institutional trading and the uses of our proprietary products. And we've become much more retail centric in our educational programs, expanding webinars, launching online demand courses to further educate on derivative strategies and applications. We've established an adjunct faculty program. So all of this in mind with the new investor who we believe can benefit from trading derivatives, but with knowledge, John. It's always been important. We believe in the educated investor, and we've adopted our teaching and our institute to include new derivatives traders. And what's interesting to see is the retail interest and small trader interest in our proprietary products, and that's growing. It's really in super short dated, low premium derivatives so far. For our proprietary products, we just think there's much more to touch, much more to educate, and we love the prospect as we look to the future. We look at the pattern of the trading, so it's not really relating to, and you say younger, I think it's just new investors They're not always young. There are many of them that are young, but there are, as I said earlier, we believe that these markets are built for everyone. So a trusted network, transparency, and education really fits the new investor. And it's got to come from product and accessibility and transparency. And we're big believers, always have been. So we're looking at new products as well. How do we make investment bite-sized? How does what a traditional retail account, let's say it had $30 to $50,000 in an account, today's retail investor might have much less than that, and we have to design products that appeal to them, allow them to hedge smaller positions, allow them to hedge fractional share positions, and then to have access to important benchmarks and indices that are unique to Cboe. So we'll need to continue to look at the size of our products and what we're offering out there. We've really reinvigorated the mini S&P SPX contract, XSP, as well as launched a mini VIX futures contract. So size, time, and duration of the trade, all important to the new investor. VIX and SPX will move to 24/5, very similar to the hours that we operate our VIX futures contract. And that is really the US benchmark is the S&P 500 SPX contract here at Cboe. And of course, measuring implied volatility, highly correlated globally in these markets. We really believe that VIX options needs the same the ability to trade near round the clock as VIX futures do. We need to be open. That's our responsibility, to allow access and to provide access for our investors near round the clock. And that's the goal. That's the opportunity. Be able to manage and have access to your positions in a near 24-hour a day, 5 days a week. The same as they have been over the recent years. Heavy analytical background, the ability to negotiate face-to-face transactions, complex trades, still find great value and resource with our trading floors. So we are investing in new space and building out a trading floor for the future at the original home of Cboe in the Board of Trade building. So construction underway as we see great value add in our customers being able to choose face-to-face negotiation for those complex trades or those really high notional trades. So here to stay, the trading floor, John. I entered at a time where fractions and theoretical value and modeling was pretty basic. So I don't know that Ed Tilly would have the future as a trader, but I certainly would look at Cboe as a place I'd love to learn the ropes of the industry. Diverse asset class now, completely different than when I started. So if there is a desire to be in this industry and maybe heavy analytics and that statistical background wasn't your education or where you found the greatest joy, I think working at Cboe and learning the industry from an exchange perspective is a terrific way to do that. I would look for opportunities at Cboe, probably away from trading, as I look at the different expertise that I had back then and what a trader is today.